Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. We're back for another exciting episode of Finding Treasures. Now this is part 14 of our great radio shed house cleanup. The last part 13, we went through a little tin of Royal Australian Air Force memorabilia, which was from the old guy. He was originally in the RAF, and that was pretty interesting. This time, I was going to do the coin album as well in that video, but it would have been way too long. So this time, we have the coin album to go through. Really exciting. I love finding stuff like this. Let's go through it and see what value I've got. Now for the coin album. Now I was pretty excited to find this. Any second-hand dealer or treasure hunter loves to find money. And I've been through this and priced everything out. I'll run through that in a tick for you. There's a few I pulled out because I don't think they're of any value at all. This one's a 1916, sorry about the reflection, a 1916 Australian penny, which is a fairly common one. And I normally throw pennies in a box for $1. This one has some scratching on it and a hole through the middle. So I don't think that's of any value. There's a 1983 Australian 1 cent piece here, which is of no collectible value. It's not a scarce year or anything. And some of these silver ones I'm going to put in my sterling silver scrap bin because you can barely read them. They're badly beaten up. This one's early, and it's got Queen Victoria on it, but it's very beaten up. They'd have absolutely no value as a collectible coin. You can't even make out what's on that one, on that side. So they're just going to go in the sterling silver bin. This is an English halfpenny or halfpenny, and it's been, looks like it's been used as an anvil. So it's probably really only scrap copper. And this is an early shilling, an English or a UK shilling. But it's so worn you can't really make it out. In fact, I don't think he's even got a date on it because you can't read it. You can see Queen Victoria there's almost scrubbed completely off it. But they will be sterling silver, so they're purely scrap metal, those ones. But let's have a look at the rest of the album. Now, I checked eBay completed items for all these, and they were all on there. Various grades, and you get a pretty good idea of what something's worth by browsing completed items. These are wartime Japanese notes. They're not in very good condition. I've just put $5 and $10. Someone's going to buy them purely as a collectible, but they're not going to go to a high-end note collector because they're not in very good condition at all. Now the coins. Most of them are very common, but they're all presented in these little square display items. I'm not sure what they're called. The coin collectors know what they're called, but they're all displayed nicely in that. A lot of these are quite worn and in quite poor condition, but I could search the date and the currency on eBay, and I would find a whole list of the same ones and what they were selling for. There's postage, of course, involved in selling them on eBay. So I've just pretty well had an educated guess at the prices I reckon I can sell them for. You know, these are World War II Japanese coins. Someone will pay $5 each for them. As I said, a top-notch coin collector probably won't be interested because they're reasonably common and they're not in mint condition. They don't have nice luster, all the things that coin collectors like. But as a novelty item, $5 each, people will buy them. So there's some US coins here as well. They're all kind of 1940s or so, more US ones. I priced these ones up a bit more. I think some of these dimes are silver coins, or they might be 50% silver, I can't remember now. And that will reflect a little bit on the value. But purely on quantity, I'm going to do very well out of this album. There's a 36 New Guinea shilling, which I think was sterling silver, or at least 80%. I can't remember now, but I've got 15 on that. That coin's not in very good condition. It's actually got some blobs of solder on it, but it's a nice early 1887 Golden Jubilee. It's not actually a coin, I don't think. Sandhurst, which was Bendigo. So it's an early Bendigo medallion. Even though it's in poor condition, I think I'll put 10 on that. These are more Queen Victoria Jubilee coins, 1897. Some of these were the same, I think, and so I just put them the opposite way around. So I've got $20 each on those because they are early Australian history. This one is the British Transvaal War 1900 Field Marshal Lord Roberts. $10 on that. Some of these look like they've actually been dug up. They might have been found by someone metal detecting. And they may well clean up a lot better. Coronation of King George V and Queen Mary. Anzac Day 1918, that's possibly a silver one. So I've just priced these based on what I found on eBay. Some of these are the same again. 1919 Peace Medal. And that one's the same, but even though it looks a different colour because it's quite tarnished. Victory Medal 1945. So you can see I've just roughly priced them. I've kind of rounded the prices up. A lot of them are $5 or $10. This was a rarer one. It's a Coles Book Arcade Medallion. I think it was pretty early. I'm not sure how the vision's going to be through the camera here. I'm trying to avoid reflections. So that's a gaming machine token, and that one's an Agricultural Society show 1923. So some interesting stuff here. There's a trader's token here from 1861, so that's getting back pretty early. Some more traders tokens, and people do specialise in the traders tokens. That's a Geelong one, and I did find a few of these on eBay that sold for quite good money. Ceylon 1908, 10 cents. So the guy collected from all over the world. I don't know where he found them. He might have swapped some with his war mates from all around the world. I'm not sure. France, India, Japan, New Brunswick. I'm not even sure where New Brunswick is. New Guinea, New Zealand. Some of these are more common, like these are New Zealand 20-cent piece, which actually still sometimes turn up in our change in Australia as a normal 20-cent piece. I normally wouldn't price that at $2, but because it's already in the card, nicely presented, I'll just leave it in the album. New Zealand shilling, so that's going to be a percentage of silver, and a 3 pence or threepence, as we tend to call them here, New Zealand again. So a real interesting mix of coins. Let's flip over the next page. We have some more British coins. 1876 is pretty early. Some farthings. I've just priced a lot of these at $5. Just 2 on the halfpenny there. And they're all pretty common, but they're nice and early ones, 1877, 1861. And then we have more 1800s coins. So there's some really good age. This one was 1820. Now that's a phenomenal age for a coin. It was quite badly worn, but you still could read the date on it, and it will be sterling silver, I would imagine. 1844. But coins have to be in absolutely mint condition, even the real old ones, to be worth a lot of money, unless it's a super rare key date, and none of these are. Shillings, 1942, 2 shillings, a half crown. Now you can see how worn these are too. They look like they've been sandpapered, but you can still read them, and they will be silver, so I priced them up a little bit. Then we've got some Australian halfpennies or halfpennies, which are quite common. I've only put $2 each on them because they're in these little holders and they're presented well. As I said, normally I'd just put them all in a $1 basket. Most Australian pennies aren't worth hardly anything. I think the 1923 halfpenny is worth quite a bit. It's a key date. And of course, with the pennies, the 1930 penny in Australia is worth a lot of money. There's a few other key dates, but the 1930 is the big one. And I didn't find one of those. A few more Australian pennies here. I've just got $2 each. And then some Australian silver coins. And again, they're not worth a great deal, although some of these have nice luster and not a lot of wear. And I've kind of priced them accordingly. There's certainly not $10 worth of silver in them. Now, Australian silver coins pre-1946, I think, are all sterling silver, so they're 92.5% silver. After 1946, like this one here, 1947, they became just 50% silver. But that one has really nice luster, so that might interest a coin collector. Moving through, you can see there's good numbers of coins in here. There's more threepences here, and then we move to some sixpences, which Australia finished or went to decimal currency in 1966, and the sixpence basically became 5 cents. So I guess the threepence was only about 3 cents. or 2.5 cents, I suppose. And then the shillings became 10 cents. Now that was a really nice shilling, that one, 1939, so it will be sterling silver, and it's beautiful luster. It's nice condition. I priced that one up a bit more, and you see this one here is much more average condition, and that's a bit later, so that's only 50% silver. Now there's some florins. That one's very worn. These ones are in much better condition, 1927 florins. A florin was basically 20 cents. Of course, 20 cents back then would buy you a lot more than 20 cents does now. In fact, most people wouldn't even pick 20 cents up off the footpath now, whereas back then you would think it was Christmas. So more florins, and again, these are in really nice condition. Some of these, I've priced these up a bit. Now this big one is a half crown, or a crown, sorry, and I've put 60 on that. I've actually sold them before, 1937. I think it's a more common date, but that's in nice condition. Some more florins, and then we move on to the round 50-cent pieces. Now Australia only had them in the 1 year. That's the first year of decimal currency, 1966, and they had a round 50-cent piece, which was 80% silver, and they were withdrawn from currency very quickly because I think they realised, or whether the price of silver went up, that the silver content was actually worth more than 50 cents. And they minted lots of them. They're not rare, but I think they currently bring, it's easy to check eBay, I think they bring close to $10 each now, because when the price of silver is quite good. So I put these at 20 each because they are really nice examples, good luster, no wear, and they're presented in these little cards. So $20 each on those. You can see this album's going to add up to a lot of money. Moving along, I think we're just about to the end. In fact, we are. All I've got on this page, which I've priced, are some 1970s Captain Cook 50-cent pieces. I think they're a little bit harder to get. The rest of the ones on this page I haven't priced, and I think I'll actually just cut out of the cards because they're of no collectible value at all. 1984 was the first year of the $1 coin, and they made, that was a massive year of mintage for those, so they're not rare at all. The only coins you're going to find in modern times that are going to be worth a lot are if they have an error from the mint, and the 10-cent piece is pretty much just worth 10 cents. So I'll probably cut these ones out of the cards. I'll leave these 3 Captain Cooks in, and that completes the album. So a great find, nothing outstanding. I think the best was, what, $60? Don't remember now. But these add up to, I went through and added all my prices, and I'm not going to get this price for every coin. I know that. It's just a price. When people are flicking through the book in my shop, I'll sell the odd coin, and eventually they'll add up. But I went through and totaled all these prices, and it added up to almost $2,000. So that's a pretty good windfall from this shed. I mean, even if I just halve it and say 1,000, that's what I paid for the entire shed lot. So a great little find, just in a plastic bag in this shed. Wasn't even in a cupboard, it was just out in the open. And I've priced it all out. That's going to go in the shop. I'm sure customers will enjoy seeing it. So, yeah, pretty happy with that. Mind you, it did take me a few hours to price it all out. Thanks for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it, particularly if you're into coins. It's always nice to look at a collection and see what someone saved, and in fitting with what this guy was doing, everything was labelled, everything was documented, everything was catalogued. He was certainly a fanatic organiser, and it's something when we clean out house lots, it's really interesting. You kind of get to know their personality from how they left things. So yeah, it's just something I find interesting. So thank you for watching. Look out for me in the next video. We've got lots more unboxing to do, so if you like seeing these, let me know. Who knows what will be in the next box. Bye for now.